Hello, I'm Claire Louise Hay from BeHealing.com, using tarot to help you do the inner work, heal yourself and create the life that you truly want to live. This is today's tarot. It's for all signs and it's for Monday, the 12th of May, 2025, which is a full moon. It's a full moon in Scorpio. This deck says it's about breathing through the tension. So do we have those same themes of rest, retreat, and all of that kind of thing that's been coming up? Let's see. Full moons, of course, being about letting go energy. Things that we need to let go of, stop doing, give up on, release out of our energy field. Let's see. So, first card out is growth. Nice. So we're growing, we're learning. Change is happening. Serene kind of a card there. Let's get a cat out. Cat out of the bag. Tending the garden. There's things to do today. You know how I said full moon's about release, letting go of things, stopping doing things. Tending the garden says this actually needs to be done. It's not conceptual. It's not just conceptual. It needs to actually be done. How many times do we do that? You know, like I'm a meditation teacher too. And with these energies as well, like my guys were saying, Claire, you people, they're not doing these things. They're just listening to you and they're just getting it in their minds, but they're not actually doing this stuff. And so I kind of switched my stuff to quests, to these quests to try and encourage people to actually do it. These cards are saying the same thing. So you actually need to take action on this and let go of things. Now that might mean downsizing, getting rid of stuff. It could be a really good day to sort through your wardrobe, sort through your kitchen, get rid of things that you don't need. That can really release energy. Yeah, we've got rescue out here as well. Rescue. Help others in need. Of course, not pushing that on other people. So not judging people and deciding that they need help and pushing our reality onto them. Let's not do that. The fixer, the rescuer. We know how that can work against us sometimes when we are helpful, loving kind of people. So, in other words, not being codependent. Let's see where this is headed. Full moon in Scorpio. Guides, let us know what's going on, please. Give us some clear guidance for this full moon in Scorpio. Now, if you want some personal guidance, go to my website, BeHealing.com. I have moon energy readings, and you can find out what this moon is all about personally for you. Use coupon code MOON to get yourself a discount. I think it's $20 discount. Let's get some tarot cards out. Starting out with the Ace of Cups. Wow, what a start. The Ace of Cups is about the beginning of something that you would really love. Now, this could be a beginning of a lifestyle or a way of actually being, of working, that you're really loving. I was talking on that yesterday as well. So you're like, this really suits me. This is really nurturing for my heart. This makes me feel fulfilled living in this way. Next, we've got the World card. End of a chapter, start of a new chapter. We also have the Lovers as well. Very powerful cards out today. Right, so the Lovers being just that, relationships. Ace of Cups is a card of falling in love as well. For some people, this could indicate a romantic relationship and falling in love. On a full moon. 3 of emotions, yeah, could be. Now, falling in love, it could be in the romantic sense, but, you know, if we're working on something that we're really loving too, with people that we're really pinging off, you know, people that we're really aligned with, there's the same feeling, right? They're falling in love of like, I'm loving this. We're getting something done. It feels really good. We're creating something. It's cohesion, you know? There's like a community cohesion. So this could be either meeting a new romantic partner at a party. Ace of Cups and 3 of emotions could mean that. But it feels more to me like I am really loving how we are collectively coming together and working in this way, and you could be collaborating with people, and it's just synergistically making so much more, but also you feeling really good about it too. It wouldn't surprise me if we see the 10 of emotions with this reading coming out. What's behind that is duality. Duality. So opposing forces, right? Opposing forces in the old paradigm that we've been living, the old earth that we've been living in, opposing forces has been war. It's been black and white, not skin color. I'm talking like just, rigid thinking. And it's if you're not with me, you're against me. A war, even if it's just on a verbal level, discussions. It's like, no, I'm right. No, I'm right. That kind of thing. Whereas duality exists, right, for a reason. It's important that we have different views on things. Because if we can work together, then those opposing views actually have a place. Do you know what I mean? When we have oppositional energies, the answer is balance. It's in the in-between. So this out of balance is not right. This out of balance is no righter. They're both wrong. The balance is right. But we have this duality and these polarities, not because they're wrongness, but if we're working together, we find the balance together. In other words, you might find a way of working or having a relationship with somebody and you're very different, opposites attracting. But if you can both value each other and your perspectives and work together, then that can be cohesive. And we don't need to be all like the same, all believing the same things and all be balanced within ourselves. I mean, balance is important within ourselves, yes. But in order for us to have a lot of value in ourselves, we need to specialize, right, in something, and that will put us out of balance. But that's out of balance in a good way, as long as we can pair up with people and work together. It feels like that to me. It feels like the duality is more of a specialist kind of thing. Something to think on. You might really love working in that way. Okay, the world. One way I've loved working, doing tarot readings is in business. I don't want to start those businesses off. I'm quite happy in my own businesses. I don't want to start those businesses off. But I love when people are starting businesses off and they come to me like with a list of names of people that they're thinking of employing with or working with, and then I go into all of the energies of what I'm picking up on all of those. It's like, well, you could employ this person, but they're going to have these strengths, and there's might be a problem that comes up there, but if you can handle that, that's cool. That kind of thing. Playing that part within startups for me, I really enjoy that. But like I said, I don't want to be part of the startup, but using our gifts and allowing ourselves to be specialized in that way, it could be something like that. The world, end of a chapter, start of a new chapter. Big world changes this year. And it's us that are making these changes. Queen of Emotions, you're open to receive this now. We had these energies come out a few days ago. Because, why? Because 5 of Emotions, because the things that have hurt you in the past that caused your heart to close down, your heart is now defrosting. So you've done the inner work to heal that. You've been down that path of that healing and that inner work. You defrosted your heart and opened up. Now you're ready to receive so much more. And the Page of Emotions is about fantasizing. It's about visions and dream of much better times. Now I know dreams, you a year ago, me a year ago, all of us a year ago, our dreams were limited to current structures. So we're thinking, what would I like to do? Well, we're thinking current of what's available, and with jobs we're still thinking like with that government in place, with me needing to still do those kind of things. We had those restrictions and those blinders on, so the goals and the dreams that we had were curtailed by that. But hopefully now, with everything being thrown up in the air, and it's like, well, clearly we're not going to be living in the same kind of restrictions with the same boundaries, borders or countries or anything, money, government, anything in the future like that. We can create a new way, right? And without those restrictions out of the way, we can dream something completely different. Something much better, something much more aligned with us, right? That's the new world that we're creating, something very different. Dreaming it up. And so the shifts, the new chapter is coming from that, from us dreaming it up. Now, we're going to be dipping our toe in it, living in these new ways within our businesses, within our relationships, slowly making those changes. And from that, we can dream up even more. It's like, well, this is really cool. I really like working in this way. What's better than this? What more can we do than this? How can we get even more into that energy? Who else can I work with? Who else can I do this for in this kind of a way? With this duality card as well, with that energies of like, if I'm in this specialty, I could help all kinds of people in this way, and just do that bit, that part of it. Groupthink. I just heard groupthink. Oh, yes. So heading into a more, it's always been this way for me. Telepathic. It's part of my gift, right? I've always been tuned into that level. When I was doing my training for my neurotherapy, and I had the training, we were kind of practicing on each other, you know, and so we'd put the EEG stuff on each other's head. Now, when the trainers put me on the machine, they're like, "Whoa, your brain. Ooh, you're unusual." So when I've got my eyes open, I'm in alpha state. I'm in alpha state, and it's because I meditate, or was I always like that, and that's why I meditate? I don't know. I've got an unusual brain pattern, so it's like I'm always in a meditative state with my eyes open, and it's true. It's true. I have access to these things, and so I've always lived in a telepathic world. It has been bizarre to me that everyone else isn't. So I'll be finishing your sentences, no matter who you are. I finish my own sentences sometimes when I'm watching these videos back. But I think more people are going to be shifting into that telepathic world too, open to that. Groupthink. And that's where groupthink comes from. So you're going to be attracting the people. And so this is like law of attraction on steroids, but you're going to understand it more and be able to open up to it more, because it's the energies more. Law of attraction, it's not like, I want this thing, I'll write it down on a list and I'll put pictures in front of it. No, it's deeper than that. It's who you are and your energy and what it is that you want to create. And then the collaboration is groupthink, telepathy, divine timing. It's the time for this now. So the world is changing to a more telepathic time. You're open to it now. Your dreams are going to be beyond, not just nighttime dreams. What you are imagining and fantasizing, like, I could do this and I could do this. You're going to be going beyond the confines, the restrictions of our rigid thinking of how the world has been. And then the lovers. So romantic relationships. What's this about? Ace of, yeah, I thought so. Ace of Materials is planting a seed. Ace of Materials, planting a seed for the future. So in whatever's happening in these parts of your life with this groupthink and all of that, it's going to get you into the energy of attracting and creating a new kind of a relationship. And this is what my guides have been saying for ages. When a load of readers and people were talking about twin flames, and I'm like, I've been reading for 25 years, and how come my guides have never mentioned these? But they did a few years ago. They started talking about it, and they said it's not what people are saying. That's just like regular relationships and bringing people, bringing your stuff up within relationships to heal. That's just normal relationship. No, twin flames have said, yeah, it's going to be leaders, a couple coming together with a purpose, and they said it's going to be couples leading things rather than we're not talking matriarchy or patriarchy anymore, but couples leading things. It doesn't have to be man, woman couples, but it will going to be one more in the masculine and one more in the feminine energy, right? And so a seed is planted. So you might just be getting a whole new concept of the law of attraction kind of a thing, and it's like, well, if I can attract Ace of Cups, 3 of Emotions, this work kind of thing, people, groupthink, people that I'm aligned with for my work and what I want to contribute in the world, and you might be experiencing that happening now. If I can attract those people and we can be in that flow with them, creating things within the community and within the world, it plants a seed, Ace of Materials, for a much better romantic relationship. Well, if I can do that, then I don't need to be on these dating sites. I don't need to be on Tinder anymore. I can just do the same thing for romantic relationships. So it might be becoming clearer to you how you are going to do exactly the same thing, but for a romantic relationship. Okay. I like it. So we've got growth energy with this full moon, and that's a big change. Death. Completely different paradigm. Completely different than you've been approaching romantic relationships. I think this, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, I think this is why a lot of us have been single for perhaps a long time, because we need to completely rewrite the whole way that relationships are done. And that doesn't mean like open relationships or whatever. It could mean that for you, but it's not. It's the whole approach, how you meet. How do we attract and bring in the one that's right for us? And what is even right for us? Well, it's going to be a collaboration again. So for romance, what is that collaboration? What do we want to do together? What do we want to create together? It might be me and you thinking on that. But a seed is planted there. Your mind might be opening to that now, of how to use this new law of attraction kind of a way. Anyway, let's get into the masculine and feminine energies and relationships and all of that, the balance of the masculine and feminine, how it's changing in the world and within ourselves. Starting out with the devil is about fears and it's about temptations. And then we've got the fool and strength. Strong enough within ourselves now to throw ourselves into anything, says the fool, to start something off even though we don't know how it's going to be. So an internal strength. Here's the thing, we don't need to trust the world and we don't need to trust people. We need to trust ourselves. And that means I can get myself into any situation and I've got enough wisdom and enough life skills within myself to deal with any situation that comes up. So I don't need to be guarded and hold myself back from things and say no to things and be protecting my energy like that. Yes, I'm going to retreat, but it's not because I'm hiding away. It's because I'm dealing with my nervous system and having that downtime. But when an opportunity or a person comes along, I can be open because I can trust myself that if they're showing me something that I don't like, I can draw up a boundary and I can say no. I can trust myself to do that. And so when we do, we can say yes more often once we can trust ourselves, right? And these two cards together are saying, look, you develop the strength and your skills within yourself that you can throw yourself into something, even though it's unknown, because you can trust yourself. Queen of Pentacles, and it comes from this stability. The Queen of Pentacles is very stable. I know myself. I can look after myself. I don't need things from the external world, because it's all within me, which means I trust myself and I've got stability within myself, so I can get myself into a new situation and remain stable, because I'll listen to myself. And if it starts making me a bit unstable, then I will come back to my own energy, retreat my energy and all of that kind of thing. So, but it's the devil first. So there's this temptation and fear. So fear could be like, ooh. But what if I'm just making all of this up? Could be that kind of a fear. The readings are getting longer, but I do like this energy and they're getting more in depth, right? Page of Inspiration. Okay, I know what this is. So the Page of Inspiration is exciting news. Now, a lot of us, our nervous systems have been, what can I say, corrupted by excitement. Excitement and fear. Excitement and fear. What's the difference? Not much. There is not much difference at all. Especially at falling in love. How many times have you thought that you're falling in love where really your nervous system was like, your butterflies in your stomach was fear, and you were incorrectly picking up on the signs of someone that you should have been scared of because your body was giving you a reaction of fear, but you thought that it was in love instead. So that might be muddying the water here. Muddying your energy, that fear of, but is this excitement, good excitement, or is this fear excitement? Growth is behind that. Well, perhaps you know the difference. Perhaps you should know the difference now between excitement and fear. I must say, I have less excitement now, but I do have a joyful feeling. It's different, right? The feeling of joy is similar to excitement, but it's not exactly the same. So yesterday I got really creative and that brought out a lot of joy in me, and it felt a little bit like excitement. I felt amped up and I wanted to do these things. It was but it was joy more than excitement. Excitement tends to be more linked with things that are risky to me. Just think on that. The difference between joy and excitement. The Fool and Strength. You're strong enough now. You can trust yourself to throw yourself into something new. Now, this could be relationships. Very well could be. Knight of Emotions, romantic relationships. You might feel ready now. You know, this energy is kind of reminding me of, you know, that downtime that you have to go through after you've been in a relationship with a narcissist. Well, you need that downtime to piece yourself together, because then you're wary. You don't trust yourself anymore, right? Because you were completely fooled. You probably got into that relationship feeling fear and thinking it was in love. And so you piece yourself back together. You learn about narcissism, how to spot the red flags, how to look out for, how to even approach relationships so that you give it time, because they're very good at pretending at faking it, aren't they? They're very good at faking a perfect relationship, which is a red flag in itself, right? We learn these things and then we are ready to get back into it, much wiser. Could be that kind of an energy too. Yes, we seem to be talking about romance here. You know, often full moon's about letting go, new moon's about planting new seeds. Often, especially lately, it's like magnetic poles switching. We can have a lot of new moon energy like this reading in a full moon. And likewise, we can have a lot of full moon letting go energy on a new moon as well. What's behind that is omens. You've had signs about this as well. So romance has been perhaps on your mind, or you've been getting signs that this could be on the cards for you, or it's time for you to open up to that again. You're ready to trust yourself again. Queen of Pentacles, because you have a stability in you. So you don't need a relationship anymore, is what this is saying. When we don't need a relationship anymore, we're not going to put up with things, right? We're not going to put up with things. We're not going to, when you're lonely, it's the difference between being alone and happy alone and being lonely, right? When you're lonely, you're more likely to get into any kind of a relationship, even if it's not good for you, because there's that compulsion to be with somebody, just anybody. Whereas when you don't need a relationship and you're completely happy by yourself, then a relationship can be a want, a desire, but you're not searching for it. You're certainly not trying to settle for someone that isn't right for you, right? So there is a stability behind that. Well, the universe is helping you out. The Ace of Voices and aha about yourself leads to a new beginning, and the Six of Inspiration is reaching higher. Now, I'm getting from this with this, sorry, Five of Inspiration, not the Six of Inspiration, is reaching higher. Previously to you, that might have meant something else than it means now. Reaching higher, a better kind of relationship for you now might be different than it was before. I don't know how to say it. What to you could have been a more aligned relationship, or what you thought you were looking for, you might be realizing now with the shifts of energies that you've had in other parts of your life, you might be realizing a different kind of a person is actually better for you now. It's got things to do with growth. It's got to do with growth. A lot of us have realized that, right? We've got to be with someone that's got a strong growth mindset. Got to be with someone like that. It's just so imperative when you're like us. I don't trust that it's any of those. I think that was just me being messy. So what's behind that, please? Queen of Pentacles and this reaching high. So you're so stable now that you will wait for exactly what it is that you want, but you might also have a clarity now of what it is that would be best for you in a relationship. What is reaching higher? Sexual energy is behind that too. So that could be bringing it on. It's about romance. It's about romance. Interesting. Could be a start of a new relationship here. Well, yeah, we had Ace of Cups out. It could be that for some of you with this full moon. For some of you, it is just getting yourself into this energy and opening up to that again and realizing that you might be ready and might be trusting yourself more in all of that. Let's get some more cards out. What else have we got in the energies today? What could we have in the energies today? Yes, we have a handshake. Meeting with a stranger could be important. You could be meeting someone new today, and it could be a romantic connection. A dark man, dealings or relationship with a dark man. We have a younger woman here as well, so it could be someone that's older than you as well. Or younger, doesn't matter. A kangaroo, unsettled times, need to plan ahead. Now, kangaroos can only move forward, and so this is progression, growth, rather than going back to an old way of being. And we've got a turkey, someone's behaving stupidly. Let's let that not be us, right? Okay, how best to deal with these energies today? How best to deal with these energies today in this full moon in Scorpio? Starts of a relationship on a full moon, yes, there can be like crazy party, you know, heightened energy. People tend to let loose a little bit more on a full moon. And so you might find yourself getting into a romantic relationship more easily because your guard might be down, or to put it another way, less inhibitions. Oh, okay. Well, how best to deal with these energies today? We've got the Justice card here, which is the card of karma. Remember, this is not just about you and your consciousness. It's about the earth and its consciousness too. It wants growth. It wants our revolution. We're all one, really, especially with the earth. So this is not just about you. Why do I want to say that? It's karma too. We're not as individual as we think. The world wants what's best for you, yes, but the world isn't centered around you. You're playing your part within a whole, and there's more to it than just you. So even if we think like my career or my romantic relationship, that's just a personal one. No, it's not. It's what the world wants too. There's a feeling here of trusting karma, trusting yourself, trusting what comes up. Perhaps after learning I can't trust myself and random things come up and there's not good people in the world and stuff like that. Perhaps now we can trust because of our energy and know there's more to it than all of this, whatever that means to you anyway. Thank you so much for watching. And don't forget to click like before you click off down there. Click that subscribe button if you're new. Leave me a comment as well. What is this bringing up for you? Have you been thinking on these things about relationships and about change and all of that kind of thing? And have you come out and been single for a long time because you came out of negative relationships? I know I did. It's like, okay, I don't want relationships anymore until I'm really clear on what I'm doing and you know, really clear on being able to choose right for me. I'm really loving myself as well. I'm really loving my life, my single life at the moment. And so, yeah, let me know in the comments below. Well, sign up for my free class there, Beyond Healing and Into the Life That You Truly Deserve and Desire, and meditate with me there. Have the best day ever. Have the best full moon ever. And don't forget, book yourself in for one of my moon energy readings on my website, behealing.com, and I'll see you tomorrow.